It's a foggy morning of August the 6th, 1915, and in the trenches near Osovets fort, the Russian Empire is facing off against the Germans, the territory modern of Poland. Lieutenant Katlinsky would sink in the mud as he patrols the trenches of his company. He's the 13th company commander assigned to the Osovets fortress, a stronghold protecting a choke place in the border. Tired men line the trench, many ill with strange food and lice. Artillery fire rains down on the fortress behind them, the thunder of explosions keeping the exhausted soldiers awake. In the distance, the enemies prepare for the battle. They are about to unleash a hideous and a terrible weapon.
On the signal, German soldiers release a huge cloud of chlorine gas. There's a tailwind and the gas starts to roll towards the expecting defenders, drifting clean at the air. It's a wall of death that silently sucks the life of any unfortunate man or beast that is enveloped by its green cleaning embrace. In the Russian-held trenches, a sentry shouts "Gas!". The men stand up and looking over the parapet. They see the nightmares of every soldier, a massive wall of dark green fog looming ever closer. The soldiers panic. They have no gas masks. The soldiers desperately rush to fabric makeshift masks. Katlinsky's chest feels tight and the air around him starts to burn. He holds his mask tight to his face and closes his eyes. The gas rolls over the trench and the pain skyrockets. Men cry and scream around him, their lungs and skin burning away.
A German soldier advances through a fog, surrounded by his countrymen. Once a kill zone, now they approach unopposed. A complete and utter silence has fallen upon the battlefield, only broken by the sounds of their own boots stepping on the mud. His chest hurts, gas still lingers in the air.
Trench lines and fortifications face down his unit through the fog, like hunters' practice, but nothing ever flies from them. His fellow soldiers cut a path through the rabbit's nest of barbed fire, and the unit keeps moving. They reach the first trench and see the devastation. Bodies of men covering their mouths, huddling in corners, some falling outside the trenches as they try to flee. It's complete devastation. Now, tentatively and on edge, the unit resumes their advance. They cross over the second line of trenches, still no resistance, but more death. Then, as they approach the reserve trench, they see some movement through the fog. The Germans stop. Close to them, more figures in the fog, as the sounds of steps reach their ears. Suddenly, a figure appears from the fog walking toward them. Emerging from the mist is a Russian. The German soldiers' blood runs cold. That is not alive. That man is dead. Then more figures appear from the fog. And more, and more. It's a horde of freezer-broken bodies.
The terrified German drops his rifle and runs for his life. Katlinsky leads the charge. With all the strength he has left, he forces open the first German he sees. His comrades quickly join, and together they take the fight to the enemy with their bayonets. The dead are broken.
The two lines clash in a chaotic and brutal melee, and bullets fly through it all. There is no order, no plan, only the most fear. Deep hatred filling the soldiers. The shocked Germans fall into disarray. Many flee the scene. The remaining fight for their lives. But the terrifying visage and unwavering resolve of the dead men proves overwhelming. The Germans fall back under heavy resistance. Men from other companies join into the brawl, and artillery rains down on the rear of the German position.
Katlinsky charges the first complete trench, bayonet in hand, but he is struck by a bullet on his side. He collapses on the muddy terrain as the rest of his men pass by him. Charging ahead. The German citizens are quickly dispatched, and the soldier drags Katlinsky into safety. He is heavily wounded and unable to fight. Bleeding profusely, he sees Lieutenant Zemlyansky, a brave Polish sapper from one of the companies. Katlinsky calls for him and cedes his command to the soldier.
Zemlyansky solemnly takes the position, salutes his commander, and leaves to continue the attack. Zemlyansky rejoins his comrades as the charge turns from a fight to the last man to a successful counterattack.
The Germans are fleeing, and the Russian soldiers rapidly retake the defensive lines. In the trenches, they find hundreds of their fallen comrades. This invigorates the dead men. Their fury and hatred demanding revenge. Zemlyansky leads the charge to the last trench under control of the Germans. They breach it and mercilessly dispatch the enemy. With the retaking of the last trench line, the counterattack comes to an end. Every enemy either dead or having fled back into the fog from which they came.
Lieutenant Vladimir Kotlinsky died from his injuries the evening of the attack. He was posthumously awarded the Order of Saint George IV, great for his valiant action that fateful day. He was just 21 years old. Lieutenant Vladimir Zemlyansky was awarded the Sword of Saint George for his bravery during the attack. He continued to serve and served many injuries throughout the war. He survived and went on to become an influential artist in Poland. In his homeland, Zemlyansky wrote in his diary, "I cannot describe the bitterness and fury with which our soldiers marched against the German poisoners.